In this lecture, we're going to be talking about short selling. So what is short selling? You've probably heard of this before, you might know it already, but here we go. So it's going to be the sale of an asset that the seller does not own. The seller effects such a sale by borrowing the asset. That's the definition from Wikipedia. So what is that? Okay, what is short selling? Short selling is betting that prices are going down. Because you have three ways of making money, right? You have you can go long. Going long meaning that you're buying something and you're trying to sell it higher at a profit. So you're betting that something is going up. You have being flat. Being flat is not doing anything. And this is something I've always told my traders is, if you don't know what to do, don't be in a position. Because taking unwanted risk is just, you can lose money for nothing. And losing money is the opposite of making money. So, you don't want that happening. So being flat and avoiding a loss is like making money in a way, right? So being flat. And then the other way is going short. So betting that something is going down. So how do you short something that you don't have? How do you bet? How do you make money on something that you don't own? Well, very easy. So imagine that you think that, I don't know, iPhone prices are going to drop. Let's say there's the iPhone 10 right now, and iPhone 10 is trading or is selling on websites or local markets for $1,000. And you know that there is the new iPhone coming out tomorrow, the iPhone 12. Okay, let's say you have the iPhone 11. I think we're at 11 or 10. I don't know. Let's say you're at the 11 and there's the 12 coming out. Okay, so what you think is that prices for the iPhone 11 are going to drop in price, in value. So what you do is you go and you see your friend, you take his phone without his permission. You just, you go to his place, you ask his dad to give you his phone, you take his phone, you go out and you sell it for $1,000. Now, you know that tomorrow the new iPhone is coming out, so this one is going to be worth less. Next morning, new iPhone comes out and this phone is now worth $600. You go back, remember you sold it for $1,000, you go back, you buy it for $600. So now you have, you still have $400 left and you have the phone. You go back to your friend's house, you give it to his dad. His dad takes this phone, puts it back in your friend's pocket. Your friend never knew it was gone and you just made $400 by selling something that you never owned. You might give his dad, $5 for his trouble, but that's it. It's the same way in stocks and in cryptocurrencies. You can sell something that you don't own. Now, how are you going to do that? You're going to borrow it from somebody who already owns it. Now, who's going to give it to you is going to be the exchange or the broker. In stocks, it's the broker. In cryptocurrencies, directly through the exchange, because there's no such thing as brokers. Okay, so the exchange is going to take it from somebody, give it to you. So example, let's say Ethereum. We're looking at Ethereum. Let's say Ethereum is trading at, let's take a look at this chart. Let's say Ethereum was trading at $48 and you think it's going down. So you borrow it from somebody on the exchange. You sell it and you get $48. Now the price drops and a few days later, the price is at 44. Well, you have $48 in your account. You buy it. But it only costs you $44. And now you take the Ethereum back, you give it back to the exchange, which gives it back to its original owner. And then you made $4 because you sold it for 48. You bought it back or covered it for 44. So you made $4 in profit and you give it back to its owner. The owner's happy, the exchange is happy, everybody's happy. And this is how it works in the crypto market. So in the crypto market, not all exchanges are going to permit you to short. So for example, on Binance right now, it's not available. I'm sure it's going to be available shortly or at one point, maybe in 2020. So I'm pretty sure they're going to make it available at one point. But Bitfinex does. So Bitfinex is the exchange that I use the most to short my cryptocurrencies. Okay. And the way it works is people who want to lend their cryptocurrencies, who want other people to be able to use them to short, are going to lend it to you. So you can take it from somebody, sell it, and then buy it back and give it back to them. You're going to owe them a little bit of interest. So they're going to charge a little bit of interest. So, everybody's a winner. So somebody who is okay, who has some long positions and is okay with other people shorting his positions while he's not using them, he can let them there. You can use them. You pay him a small interest for using them. You pay a little fee to the exchange for making all of this happen, and then you're able to short. And this is something that if you are, doing any type of advanced trading strategies, you are going to do. Across all the places I've worked at, all the prop shops, every single place, shorting was a big part of the operations. Most places that I've traded for would long half of the time and short half of the time. And we're going to talk about this when we talk about market neutral strategies, where you have as many long positions and as many short positions. So you're eliminating market risk. We'll cover that later, but you have to understand that shorting is a very popular trading way for professional firms. Okay. Now there is high risk in shorting, because when you short something, what is the maximum profit that you can do? Well, let's say I short this, let's say this is crypto here. Okay. I short it at $48. I short only one. Well, how much money can I make? Well, if it drops all the way to zero, I'm going to make $48. Because I'll have to buy it back at zero or at a cent to give it back to its owner, even though when I sold it for $48. So I make about $48. But what if it goes up? What if it goes from 48 to 58? And then I got to give it back to its owner, because I can't hold this indefinitely, right? The owner of this might want it back at some point. And when you are shorting through Bitfinex, there is going to be a timeline where you have to close your position. You can't hold it forever. So let's say the price is at $48, 58. Well, you're going to have to buy it back at 58 to give it back to its owner. And if you only got 48 when you sold it and then had to buy it back for 58, then you're losing $10. Now you can see the problem here, right? The problem is there's no limit to the upside of a crypto or any financial product. It could just keep going up. It could go up to 100, to 1,000, to 10,000. It can just keep going up, right? So you can lose infinite amount of money. Now, obviously, if you don't have enough money in your account, so let's say you only had $100 in your account, well, when the price goes up and you're losing, let's say $80 or a big amount of money, the exchange is going to close you out automatically, because they don't want you to lose more than you have in your account, because they're not going to take the loss for you. You're going to take the loss. So you're going to get stopped out. You're going to get a margin call. That's what we call it sometimes. They're going to stop you out because you don't have enough money in your account. So it does have very high risk. So you only do short selling when you know what you're doing, and when you've practiced enough, and when you have a solid strategy that works. But it's something that a lot of professional traders do. And if you're a professional, then you understand short selling and you understand advanced trading strategies. But that's the point. The idea is for you to understand these advanced topics, why they work, and for you to be able to do short selling within a strategy. But you only do short selling when it reduces the risk of your strategy. So some people are just going to short something, and then this thing goes up and they just lose all their money. Well, then you didn't use shorting in a correct manner. You can use shorting to diminish your risk if you have long positions and short positions simultaneously. And that's the purpose of, or that's the way you would want to implement short selling into your trading, to reduce your risk, not to increase it. Okay. So that does it for short selling, and I'll see you guys at the next lecture.